Well, a new binding peace and security resolution is set to address the ongoing crisis in the eastern DRC. President Cyril Ramaphosa expressed optimism, suggesting that the SANDF troops could return home sooner once stability is restored. However, questions remain about the current state of the South African soldiers still deployed in the region. To unpack this, we are now joined by SANDU's chief negotiator, Jeff Dubazana. Jeff, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. What do you understand about the situation of the current battalions that we have in the DRC and with regards to their safety? But on the other part as well, Julius Malema, the leader of the EFF, was saying yesterday, according to his information, is that the South African National Defence Force troops are actually being held hostage.
Thanks, Aldrin. Look, the situation in our bases, both in Sake and Goma, they are currently safe. It would be not, unwise of our commanders not to have prepared, especially what happened after the 22nd and 23rd of last month. We are prepared for any, eventuality that may arise. Safe to say, as we are now standing, especially about what happened on the 22nd, 23rd, our integrity as a nation in Africa and in the whole world is in tatters. What's left for us is to restore, our integrity in the eyes of Africa and in the eyes of the whole world.
Yeah, when you say that the status is safe, what do you mean by that? Are they being held hostage?
Look, Aldrin, no, they are not held hostage. They are simply in their bases. What happened? There was negotiations around, the question of ceasefire. Remember, on the 22nd and 23rd, they tried to run over our base at Sake, and we dealt with them, heavily dealt with them, when ultimately we lost 9 of our current soldiers. Now, I'm definitely sure that they know that it is not easy to simply, go over to Sake and attack our soldiers there. So yes, our soldiers, as we speak now, they are relatively safe, even though in a war situation, no one can say anyone is safe. But I'm simply saying, we are simply saying they are safe simply because of, our soldiers, they are prepared for whatever eventuality that may arise.
Yeah. Are there restrictions, the movement restricted at all, considering that you have the M23 that has been able to take over Goma, that Goma has fallen, and that particular base of the South African National Defence Force is in Goma?
Look, Aldrin, the intentions of the rebels is to march through to Kigali. It's obvious to anyone who's watching what's happening in the DRC. However, what now we can say, regarding the South Africans that are in Sake, they are simply confined to camp. Obviously, it is a war situation in there. Anything, if one, or a group of them goes out of the base, anything could happen that could lead to the resumption of fighting. Now, to observe the ceasefire that is there, our soldiers have simply been confined to camp, not because of, that they are under strict, marshalling of the M23. We cannot be marshaled by M23.
Yeah. So confined by who to the camp?
Confined by the ceasefire that has been agreed to.
Yeah. So the reports that we are hearing, for instance, that there is not adequate food, adequate ablution facilities, would you say that those are untrue?
Not completely, but it would be amiss to say our soldiers are not eating. Like I said, it is a war situation. Everything becomes, it's always difficult to get anything in a situation like that. But like I said, it is not like they are simply going hungry there.
Yeah, but there are issues around food supply.
There are issues. It's always difficult to, to get things like food. Look, it was, evident. It was proven evident by the return of our fallen soldiers. The difficulty that we experience in terms of having them back to the country. If we could experience that kind of a situation, surely that would then mean, everything is difficult. You don't simply get everything, just like that, as if there's peace in the DRC.
Yeah, there was a call post the SADC meeting as well as the East African community meeting as well, that the chiefs of the various countries, the chiefs of the army of the various countries should have a meeting to speak about the conditions in the DRC, and that will be followed by another meeting that will be taking place within 30 days post that particular AEC and SADC meeting. What do you know about that meeting amongst the chiefs? Did that meeting go ahead?
I can't give you a definite answer to that, Aldrin. What we know is that, it is very difficult to trust rebels. Even though the situation we find ourselves right now is that we have, secured this ceasefire, surely we cannot trust rebels. Anything with them, anytime goes on. And if those chiefs are to meet, we hopefully believe that their resolution would be simply to, once and for all, deal with the M23.
All right. What do you think as a union that represents soldiers should be happening now with those soldiers that are still in the DRC?
As a union, we hope that our commanders, the commanders of especially of the SANDF, are prepared for any eventuality, especially regarding what we've witnessed on the 23rd, on the 22nd, on the 23rd. If those rebels were to again attack us, I hope and I believe that our commanders have made necessary arrangements to once and for all deal with those rebels.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Jeff Dubazana is SANDU's chief negotiator there on the status of the South African National Defence Force, which is still in Sake as well as Goma. This is in relation to the ongoing